Hi, I'm STR Helvete of the Death Synth project Helvete Inc., and you're watching Talk About Krach.
First of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. The world has a never-ending shortage of maddening situations, but, I manage.
It's been a while since your latest album, The New Flesh. Can we expect new music this year?
I'm currently working on music. It was originally supposed to be an EP, but I came up with a lot of material and a concept that I'm kind of excited about. So it's turning into a full-fledged album, which will more than likely be released sometime next year. I'm not entirely sure when yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Answer with yes or no. A walk in the forest.
A walk in the forest. Yes.
Synth pop.
Yes.
Books.
Yes.
Horror movies.
Yes.
Gaming.
I could take it or leave it, honestly.
Your music is called Golgothian Death Synth. Can you explain the meaning?
My music kind of went through a lot of just different genres and different things that I wanted to do, and I never really cared for the gatekeeping that comes with the usual subcultures. There's always this, lots of argument and discrepancy and controversy about what bands fall under what category. So I just decided to create my own. I mean, ultimately, it means nothing. I don't think I'm not silly enough to think that I'm like forging some new path or creating some new genre. But if I had to give it a name, that's the name that I chose to give it because I had to call it something.
What's your opinion about physical discs in times of streaming?
I grew up in the age of like CDs and cassette tapes and things like that. So having the physical copy was something that was important because you got the liner notes and you got the artwork and you got the lyrics and all the things that mattered. It was an entire experience of listening to the music and letting the art and all of that kind of like pull you into the world of the album, which you don't really get with streaming. Everything now is just kind of disposable, and I guess I'm just showing my age, but that's not for me.
Which artist would you sign at your label Death Glimpse Industry?
Death Glimpse Industry is pretty much an imprint just for myself so that I could control my own music and, deal with the business side of that as well as the creative side. I have given thought to branching out and establishing it as a sort of an art house for other artists, but I haven't really given it too much thought.
How does a typical Helvete Inc. listener live like in your opinion?
I'm not really sure what a typical Helvete Inc. listener would be like. I'm not even entirely sure they exist, but I'm assuming it's people who kind of relate to just the message and the feeling of dealing with fear and shame and mental illness and different types of things and having to sort that out on their own terms.
Choose one of the two options, Spotify or Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Definitely Bandcamp. If you're not using Bandcamp, you need to. Support local music. Support music. And if you're not using Bandcamp, you really need to. And support the artists that you care about.
Skinny Puppy or Pig Face?
I'm gonna go with Pigface, just because they worked with Fallon Bowman, who was the guitarist of Kitty, and if it was not for Fallon Bowman, I wouldn't be here.
Hardware or software?
I'm not really particular when it comes to software or hardware. Just whatever gets the job done.
Studio session or live show?
Bit tricky. Both of them are very important, but just for me, I enjoy creating. That, and I'm a studio nerd, so I like going to studios and seeing the gear that's used, and I love just the scenery of a studio. All of that. I tend to thrive more. That, and it's a more personal thing, and it's not so public as a live show is, and I'm kind of just a secluded type person, so I would have to say definitely a studio session.
LP or EP?
LP. The more music, the better. All the extras and all the everything that comes with it. I appreciate that.
In which century would you like to live in?
I guess the one now. This current century is so goddamn fucked up that I don't think anybody would believe it if they weren't living it. So it's a great and crazy time to be alive.
Which machine do you start first in the morning?
What machine do I start first in the morning? Well, it's definitely not my brain. Probably my computer. It's where everything happens. So I normally go there, and it normally tells me what the hell I'm supposed to do for the day because I can't figure it out.
What's your typical songwriting process?
Songwriting is strange because for some reason I never really remember what was going through my head or how things came about. They kind of just happen. I will just sort of fall into this, I guess, just trance of putting things together, and when I come out of it, there's stuff. I don't really sit down and try to force myself to do any of that. And I don't know. I know it sounds cliche to say that like something just takes over me and just makes me put sounds and things together, but it's true.
Your favorite Helvete Inc. track?
My favorite Helvete Inc. track would probably be Life Falls Apart from The Inevitability of Nothing. It's a very simple song. There's nothing really amazing about it, but I think that was just the first time I was actually able to lock into a feeling and turn it into sound in the most genuine and most pure way possible that I hadn't been able to do before. That was really the first time that I managed to do that, so that's a special song for me.
Which artists would you like to play live with?
I would love to play live with 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson, Ministry, and I know those sound cliche as fuck, but I only say that because, they're doing really big arenas and whatnot, and that would be amazing to be able to have that experience.
The best industrial act is?
It's hard to really say who the best industrial act is. I don't really know. I guess I would have to say 9 Inch Nails if I had to pick. But, I'm a 9 Inch Nails Trent Reznor fanboy, so I suppose I'm biased.
How would you spend the last day on Earth?
If I had one last day on Earth, I'd probably go on a killing spree or something. I don't know. It just seems like the most destructive and insane thing to do. And if you're gonna die anyway, why not? Fuck it.
Last words.
I do want to take this time to thank everybody who's ever listened to my music, who's ever supported it, anyone who's ever bought merch, anyone who's ever, has listened to the music and bought the music and shared the music with other people, uploaded it to places and played it, on their shows and on DJ sets, and just everybody who's ever really supported me. I appreciate it, and it certainly does not go unnoticed, and thank you very much. Once again, this has been STR Helvete of the band Helvete Inc. Thank you for watching.